All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kwame Oswansan. I always call myself the chief servant of Techstripped Africa. And I'm glad to have you all for tonight's session. I know tonight's session is going to be a great one. I've been looking forward to this. And I know most of you guys have also been looking forward to it because of the person we have sharing her story with us. So tonight's format is going to be a little different from how it's been in the previous ones. So it's going to be more of like a Q&A. So what would happen is while I am asking the questions and Bella is answering, when you have a question, you can post it in the chat or you can raise your hand and then I will invite you to ask the question. Okay. Okay. So B, let me know when you're ready and then we can get into it. Hello. Please, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can. Hello, everyone.
Okay, well, the sound is a bit low, right? Okay, give me a second. So I am, interestingly, I'm in a location where, okay, sorry, hold on. Hello, is it better? Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, Kwame. I can hear you.
Okay, so sorry, there probably might be some noise in my background. It's because I found myself in a place.
The sound is fine. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, great stuff. So so B, first of all, guys, like I said in my introduction, if you saw my post on Facebook, myself and Bella, we go way back. We worked together in Charterhouse. We worked in GH1. Then she started off in Charterhouse as a marketing person, and then she moved to GH1, started doing TV and everything. And one of the things that I've admired about B is that she has been consistent, and she's been a go-getter, and it has paid off. And one of the things that I've seen with her is she seldom compromises. And I don't know how she did it, because we all know that in the industry where we find ourselves, there are a lot of people compromising to be able to get into certain places. So how did she get into the position where she is right now, that influential, without giving off so much of herself? And what can we learn from her story? So maybe B, you can start off by telling us a bit about you, give us your background, what I haven't said already, and then we can take it off from there. So tell us a bit about yourself, B.
Okay, Kwame, thank you. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hi. You're all on mute, so even if you speak, I won't hear. Hi, everyone.
Doing great.
Awesome. So even though Kwame has passed it on to me, and thank you so much, Kwame, for this opportunity. I mean, I couldn't have said no. I'm exhausted. I haven't slept since 2 a.m., but I had to do this for him because, again, we go way back. So you guys, you should say thank you to Kwame, man. But instead of just telling you a bit about me, I want to put you guys to test. What do you all know about me? Anything? Anything?
Yes, madam. Madam, please. My name is Harry Ford. I know you to be. I know you to be the #1 best celebrity in Ghana, as of being the TV3 host of the New Day.
Okay. Okay.
And also being the ambassador of Lucozade, KFC, and also Tasty Tom Tomato Mix and others.
In Absa Ghana.
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you, Harry. I'm not a celeb though, but thank you so much. You seem to know quite a lot. Madam, I like to call myself a media personality.
Madam, please, do you know what? I'm always interested in you, even on Facebook and Instagram. I've tested you on Instagram several times, but no reply.
Forgive me. Sometimes I barely have time.
Please, I beg, afterward, I would like to contact you. I've been to your TV3 office before. I've been to your TV3 office before. That I've asked of the security to allow me to come and visit you inside. But they're saying that if you don't know
relax.
me.
Hayford, okay, relax. Yeah. So tonight's session is not about you visiting or doing anything.
Yeah, I know.
So relax, okay?
I know, okay.
Let's finish with that. We can take that offline, all right?
Okay, madam.
Okay, great stuff.
All right, thank you. So who else? Who else wants to say something? Okay, I see Tracy is texting.
Yeah, so Tracy said you're a media personality and a role model to many.
Okay. All right. Is that all? Nana, you haven't spoken. Yasmin, Maxwell, Mary, quite a number of you. Nobody's talking. Yes, ECAB, you can talk.
Yes, everybody can talk. I mean, she's asked the question, so if you have an answer, just put it out and let's go.
Hi, Bella.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't know much personally, but I see you on Instagram and I think you are a fitness enthusiast. You like to keep fit and you travel a lot. So yeah. I guess you like to travel as well. So that's all I know.
Okay, interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let me just tell you a bit about myself. So all of you are right. Well, except the fitness enthusiast, I've become quite lazy. So I'm not sure if I can still call myself an enthusiast, but I try to be as active as possible. My name is Berla. Berla Mundi is my stage name. And I have been doing TV and radio for the last 10 years. And like Kwame rightly said, I started off at Charterhouse. I was in the marketing department, but I mean, when I got into Charterhouse, it was for national service. And right after national service, I was in the marketing department, even though that wasn't the reason why I went to Charterhouse. I went there for production, but I mean, for some reason, I didn't go to the production side. I think I didn't think I had what it took. So I was just hanging out with my friends in the marketing department for about 8 months, didn't sell anything. And then there was an opportunity that time, GH1, the old GH1 under Charterhouse had started. So I quickly, there was an opening for me to start doing voiceovers. And I went in there, I started training. I trained for a while. And then when I was ready, my boss decided to put my voice over. It was like a 5 minutes entertainment review every morning and evening. So I would have to find the stories myself. I'd have to edit the stories on your entertainment personalities. I had to generate my own stories at a point. And I'd get an editor to put some graphics together. And then it'll go on every 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. So I did that for quite a while, a very long time. And then after that, sorry. And then after that, I think they realized I had something, and so they put me on rhythms. That time Black Boy was doing rhythms. I told them I wanted to do TV as well. So they tried me on. I used to go on there and give entertainment updates. It worked, and the rest is history. So that's basically what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I've been at GH1. I was at GH1 for about 9 years altogether. So the old GH1 for about 5 years, and then the new GH1 under EIB for 4 years, because GH1 was acquired by EIB Network. And then I moved to TV3 about 2 years ago to do the morning show. And yeah, I've done quite a lot with a number of companies. So yeah, Kwame, that's basically it.
Great stuff. So let's go back to the university, because most of the guys on the session, Techstripped guys, are usually in school. So how did you see yourself when you were in school? And are you living the dream that you saw yourself in school? Is that what you're living right now?
Well, when I was in school, it depends on where exactly. When I was in primary school, I was the...
No, let's take it from Lagos.
Oh, University of Ghana. In fact, my interest in media started when I was young. Anyway. Sorry, guys. I keep getting a call. Forgive me. Sorry, a minute. Sorry. Okay, sorry guys. So when I was in the University of Ghana, I joined Miss Malika Ghana, and that was organized by Charterhouse. And it was there that I realized I really had the potential for what I'm doing right now, which is media. And also the organizers realized I was really good at expressing myself. Every time they gave a task, I was very good at communicating. So they told me there was a slot for me after school if I was interested in media. So I kept in touch with them even after the competition. I was in level 300 by then. So once I was done in level 400, I quickly got in touch with them and said, I would love to do my national service with them. So, I mean, when I was in university, I knew that this is what I wanted to do, because even in secondary school, I was the one that hosted SRC night. I was interested in basically entertainment at that time, but also media. So yeah, that's how I began.
Okay, so between the time that you were in the university and the time that you started off being on air, right? You always wanted to be a media personality, so you had the flair for it. But between the time you were in school and when you started going on air, what was your preparation like? What were the things that you did to put yourself in the right position to make sure that when the opportunity arose, you were ready for it?
So I was watching a lot of people. I mean, there were people that I looked up to. In Ghana, I used to watch Anita Esking a lot. I used to watch TV, both local and international. And it was when I was young that they started showing a lot of the Oprah Winfrey shows and all those other ones. So I was always paying attention to it because I knew I was interested in that. And I'll learn a few words from them. I was learning a few of their gestures. I was literally picking from them. So for a while, even before I actually got on air, I would stand in front of the mirror and prepare. And, you know, I mean, it took a lot of preparation. Even before going on air, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to know your stuff. And I started with entertainment. So over time, I was able to rattle literally everything about everyone in the entertainment industry because I did a lot of research. I did a lot of reading. And what helped was the fact that I was doing entertainment updates every morning and evening. So I was constantly online, reading about these people, both local and international. I was following them on social media. I was going for events and I wasn't going for events because I wanted to be there. I just needed to go there to do my work. And I'd come home, and I used to watch E-News a lot, E-News on E. That was like my go-to. I would watch it religiously because I wanted to be as good as those people on there. When I was watching it, it was Juliana Rancic. It was, what's his name? He became an actor eventually. I forgot, but he's moved on. And there were 3 of them, and I would watch them so much because I really wanted to do that work. And that's how I used to prepare. So over time, I think people started realizing I was different. Maybe I was not the usual, because everybody thought that she was just another probably pretty face coming to take over the media space and waste our time. You know that thing. Those times, there wasn't really any young person who was doing as much on TV. So it took a while, but eventually they realized, okay, this girl has potential. And then that's how people started paying attention to me.
Okay. So because of what you said, let me go back there and talk about it. So at the time when you were coming in, that there's this whole tag about pretty face people being a little dumb, they don't know their stuff. How did you deal with stigma in that time when you were coming into the space?
I didn't give anybody the opportunity to even think I was dumb. I won't give you that space. I mean, if you thought I was dumb, then you probably thought about that in your room by yourself, but not in my face. Because by the time you start talking to me, you realize this girl is made of a different substance. I mean, I was very tiny, but even when I start speaking, I had quite a heavy voice. So everybody looks at me like, okay, she's not quite a child like we thought. And then by the time you raise an issue, I'm giving you the breakdown. So I wasn't out there as much because I was doing a lot more behind the scenes. So by the time I started coming out, I had enough information to put out for people to know that I was different. So maybe it was by dint of luck, maybe it was just, a blessing God gave me. The fact that I started working behind the scene way before I got on TV. I think that really helped me and it prepared me. So I won't go on TV and sound dumb because I had done years of voiceovers on these people and, I would type my news every day. I was literally on my laptop every single day, every minute. So my brain was filled with a lot of information and I'll churn out the news and I'll put everything out there and everybody would be like, oh, she's actually really good. So nobody really walked up to me and said, I think you're dumb. Nobody could even do that. No, I didn't give them that chance.
So now you are in the space where you've always wanted to work and things are happening for you. What are some of the challenges you find or you found when you entered the space? Like you had an anticipation. Now the reality is happening to you. What were some of the things that were like, oh shoot, I didn't think about this, or I didn't think things would be like this, and how were you able to deal with those challenges that came up?
First of all, I thought that it was going to be a walk in the park, and so you get on TV and everything just works out smoothly. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to prove yourself to people. So it took quite a while for people, even though they knew I could do the work, they wanted to know how long I was going to last. So longevity is very key in this industry. So if you think you're that kind of person who just wants to be popular overnight, you lose it. If you didn't put in hard work, you lose it. So for me, I thought my career was going to pick up quickly, but it didn't. So even when people started hearing about me, they thought I had been in the industry for just a year. I would hear people say, but she just came last year. How come she's all over the place? I'd been in the industry for like 3-4 years before people started noticing me. The other thing was also the fact that, again, because I was tiny, people assumed I was this very matured, very grown-up girl. And every time they saw me, they won't believe that was me. So, there was a lot of prejudice because they didn't know me personally, because I was hiding until I spoke. And then they'll realize, okay, she's that good. So for a lot of people, even though I walked up to them and told them, I think I can host your event. Give me the opportunity. They'll look at me and say, you're too new in the industry. People barely know you. Why should we put you on? I don't think you have what it takes. You're going to have to wait for a while. And it used to upset me a lot because I'd watch the shows and say, but what this person did on stage, I could have done 10 times better. And it wasn't arrogance. Don't get me wrong. But it was just this passion and this zeal. I just knew what I was made of. And I knew that if I was given the chance, I would be able to prove myself. But unfortunately, once you're new in the industry, you have to prove yourself. So it took a while. And that was quite annoying for me. My most recent challenges, however, would be the fact that I had to switch from entertainment to current affairs. That's been the most difficult change in my life because when I was doing entertainment, it was entertainment throughout. I really wasn't paying attention to what was happening in politics, what was happening. I mean, I started the transition gradually because I started doing social issues when I was at GH1, but like raw politics and stuff, it was when I moved to TV3. So I've had sleepless nights even till date. That's why I said I woke up at 2 a.m. because when everybody else is prepared for their interviews, I have to put in extra hours to get my questions right, to read from 92 or 89 or 69 so I can get the history. It's quite tough. But if you want to succeed, those are some of the challenges that you have to deal with. So yeah.
Okay, so you are Berla Mundi now. Looking at you before you became Berla Mundi that everybody else knows, what character trait did you have that enabled your now? I don't know if my question is making sense.
Yeah.
Right.
The number one would be I was very stubborn, extremely stubborn. I had a quick temper. I didn't like hearing no. If you tell me no, you're not my friend anymore. I'm done with you and I'm moving on. And people didn't understand why I was like that. But I channeled all that into my career. And that's why I'm where I am today. A lot of my friends didn't think that I should continue with the career path that I had chosen because they said, but there are girls in the industry, who have bad images, their reputation is nothing to write home about. Why do you want to get into this kind of industry? And I'm looking at them like, my blessing is different from yours. If this is what God wants me to do, allow me, But at the end of the day, and even my parents, because even my mom wasn't too sure about it. She was like, how do you go to the university for 4 years and what you want to do is media? Like, who does that? But there was just this stubborn spirit in me. And if everybody spoke up, fight them and say, can you stop talking about it? If you don't want me to do it, you can just look the other way and allow me to do my thing. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know how this was going to end, but I was just doing it. I was just doing it with hopes that it would work. And I still have that stubbornness in me, which is why I'm where I am today. Because even for current affairs, again, when I was moving from GH1 to TV3, I heard many people say the worst things. But this girl is an entertainment presenter. How is she going to survive in this field? I mean, she doesn't have what it takes. Why does she think that she can just make that switch and it's going to work for her? And I just look at them and say, you're not my friend again for saying that. I'm going to prove you wrong. But I mean, later I'll go back to them and say, well, I proved you wrong, so we're friends again. But it's just that thing within me. There was just this hunger and drive to succeed. And it was also the fact that I wanted to be better at every point. So that if you meet me today and I'm on level 10, the next time you meet me, I'm on level 100. Like the leap had to be so obvious that you'd see that there was a change in me. I think that's just my traits that has really made me who I am today.
Okay, great stuff. So somebody's asking a question about how you're able to shuffle between all your busy schedules and keeping yourself.
It's crazy, I won't lie to you. It's absolutely crazy. So I literally got home today a few minutes before 6, and Kwame will attest to that. He called me earlier and I was on set. So after the morning show, I had to go on set to shoot. Because I'm the brand ambassador for ABSA Ghana, I had to go on set and shoot. And usually these shoots take forever. I haven't rested at all. I haven't had sleep in the last how many hours? So many hours, I can't even remember. But you have to do it. It's the field I chose. And so even when you're tired, you still have to juggle in between. And unfortunately, I always say I don't have a life because it's work, home, family. Once in a while, I hang out with my friends. So that's why when I travel, I do a lot of things. And maybe people don't understand. Now I don't post as much, but because when I'm around, it's all work. I have to, and whilst I'm on set, I'm supposed to be filming a promotional video for another brand that I'm working for. I'm supposed to be putting together my next script for my next show. It's a lot of work, I won't lie. I have a team that helps, but most of it falls on me. So I just try to still, after everything, sleep and stay in my corner and avoid trouble. And then the next day I go again. That's basically what my life has become.
Okay. So how have you not lost yourself, Berla Mundi, in this current media space? How and what? How did you do it?
Because I'm afraid of trouble. I don't want trouble. When I hear trouble coming, I run the opposite direction. But I think it's probably just my upbringing. I grew up with a very strict father. He won't let you go anywhere. You had to stay indoors, no TV till weekend. You had to read your books. So I learned how to be by myself. I learned how to remain humble, because even though he could provide everything, he won't make you feel that way, And he would always remind you that, well, your father is working hard to make this happen. So don't go out there thinking that you're high and mightier than everyone else. And then also, I think it's God and prayer. My mom and my sister, I've said this before, that the people who really are holding me are my mom and my sister, because they're constantly praying for me. And when I come home, they treat me like an ordinary girl. So nobody treats me like, a media personality in my house. My mother insults me, my sister sends me, that thing. So it just keeps me grounded, because at the end of the day, I realized that after all is said and done, you're still just another regular girl, whether you like it or not. So the fact that you're on TV doesn't mean that you should do all the silly things that other people may be doing, because at the end of the day, you have a family that's looking up to you. You have many young people who are looking up to you. You come from a good home. And when I say good, I'm talking about the kind of training that I've had and my sister had as well. You cannot let these people down, because whatever happens to you or affects them as well. Are you going to just mess up? Because if you do, then everyone else is going to make fun of your family, make fun of the people close to you. And all those young people who are looking up to you would also be disappointed. So what do? This is naturally me, by the way. So I don't foment trouble. I stay in my corner. So I think those are the things that have really helped me. And also having a relationship with God. I struggle with it, I won't lie. There are days when I'm tired and I can't pray, but I still draw from that source every time when I can.
Great. Where do you see the media space metamorphosing into? And how are you prepping yourself for it?
Maxwell says he can't see my face. Let me see if I can turn on my video. My camera is not too clean this evening. Hold on, guys. It's so hazy, it's not funny. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Give it the MacBook, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I'm tired, so I was trying to hide my face. Sorry, guys. Kwame, what did you ask?
I was asking you where you see the media space metamorphosing into, and then how are you preparing for that?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I asked, where do you see the media space moving into, the global media space moving into, and then how are you preparing for it?
I mean, technology has taken over, absolutely. And I'm trying to run with it as well. YouTube is big. Now, you don't have to sit on TV and report your news. Everything is happening on social media. So if you don't also go with the trend, you might lose out, because we've been told again that even the traditional media won't go out completely. Social media has taken over and everybody is on there. So how do you run along with it? Now, aside that, I think that the media space has become very competitive, in the sense that I've interacted with some international media personalities and I felt very little, not in a bad way, because I also proved myself when it came to talking about issues. But then when it came to talking about international issues and things that were happening even in other African countries. I do a lot of reading with regards to African countries. If you follow me on Twitter, you realize that I'm always talking about, or mostly talking about Guinea, what's happening in Rwanda, I'm reading about Congo. But I just realized that those people were deep. They had in-depth knowledge about everything. And so I realized that if you want to grow and remain relevant in this space, then you're going to have to always improve upon yourself. You cannot stay at the same spot. So I might think that because I've hosted BGMA, I'm so huge in Ghana, but there's someone out there who's also hosting bigger events. And when I'm getting on that stage, I shake a little because I haven't been there before, because I feel like that's too big for me. So the media is moving along, different interests, along technology. There are more intelligent people. They're smarter. They're able to imbibe a lot more than some of us. I have to be writing before I can get everything in my head. So if you don't also improve upon yourself, then you'll be left behind. And for me, that's where I am going.
Right. Okay. Now, probably my next question would be that. So you are more like an introverted person, right?
Well,
you like
kind of, yes.
You like to
kind of
be in your corner and not be right.
Unless I'm
you like to.
Yes.
Right. You like to prove yourself by doing, or prove yourself by showing you what I got.
Mm-hmm.
What about, I'm in school. I'm an extrovert. But I'm also looking to get to be like Berla Mundi someday to come, or even become better than Berla Mundi. But I am an extrovert. I like to put myself out there. How do I manage that life? How do I manage my temperament as, let's say, a choleric or a sanguine, and not get myself into trouble, and be able to build a very good image for myself, and eventually get to be maybe the next Berla Mundi or the next Oprah Winfrey?
First of all, there's nothing wrong with being an extrovert. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. When I was in school, I was an extrovert. I was all over the place. I was screaming. I had so many friends. That was my young self. And that's what got me where I am, really. Even though I still had, a part of me that was still introverted. But for me, it's how you channel all that energy into what you're doing. That's what matters the most. So if you're an extrovert, you like to interact with people, you notice what your strengths are. How do you channel that into your craft while still maintaining a brand? You need to learn what it means to build a brand. And that's what a lot of people lack, the ability to build and maintain a brand. It's not easy. And you have to make a decision from the beginning that this is where I want to go in the next 5-6 years. And in doing so, I have to do A, B, C, and D in order to achieve my goal. So then you write down all those things and ask that if I do A, will it get me into trouble? Yes, it will. If that's the case, how do I control it? How do I avoid it? Okay, so you need to write all your strengths and weaknesses down. And just like how people start businesses and they do a SWOT analysis, and I'm sure that everybody knows what a SWOT analysis is. Your strength, your weakness, you need to literally do that for yourself. You should see yourself as a brand, okay? So SWOT is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. List all those things down. This is the industry I'm going into. What are my strengths and what are the strengths of the industry? What are my weaknesses and the weaknesses of the industry? What opportunities are available? And what are the threats that are going to hamper my growth? Now, if you're able to list those things, even though sometimes it's difficult to go by some of these rules, it helps. And business people will tell you that it helps. It helps you to know that even though I'm an extrovert, I need to be careful what I say at what point. I need to be careful the kind of people I have around me. And if I'm an extrovert, I need to have the right kind of people around me who are going to help me scale up in my field. Not just be everybody's friend and shouting all over the place. And when everybody says, let's go have a drink, you're going, well, you know that you don't even have the money in your pockets. You have to save so you can go to work the next day. It's a lot of sacrifices you have to make, and you need to be smart about it. Now, you also need to find someone that you think believes in your craft, sees potential in you, and that person is going to help you So you know what your weaknesses are, and you need to let that person help you work on those weaknesses, and it helps you to scale up. That's what I can say about wanting to be whatever it is you want to be. But there's nothing wrong in being an extrovert. There's nothing wrong in being an introvert. There are strengths in all of that.
So let's just say I'm a very popular person, but the popularity is not equal to relevance. How do I switch from making my popularity or my unpopularity turn into relevance? Because one of the things that you've done so well is, like you spoke about longevity. Since you got into the limelight, you've been able to be relevant for the whole. And I don't see you dimming anytime soon. So how do I position myself, and what do I do as a young person growing up so that I can become relevant in whatever space that I find myself?
You have to be deliberate about it. Again, you need to know what you're popular for. Are you popular for the good reasons or the bad reasons? Are you happy with what people, attach to your brand? If you're not happy, what can you change about it? And that's where the relevance begins. When you identify what you're not okay with regards to the popularity that you're enjoying, and the fact that you've realized that, well, that is not my purpose. Now, everybody is born with a purpose. Everybody is born to achieve their purpose in life before they go, whether you like it or not. You need to identify that purpose. And if you live in that purpose, you will gain relevance. So for me, my purpose, and I've identified it, my purpose is to help young people identify their dreams and, help them. If they can build it, why not? I may not have the money to help them build it, but at least speaking to them, encouraging them, using myself as an example for these young people helps. For me, that's my purpose. And that's how I think I have found relevance. Because when it comes to popularity, there are people who have numbers. On TikTok, there are so many popular people, so many of them. But how relevant are they when it comes to very important issues? You might say, I love this person. And you see some of you keep saying, you're my role model, you're my role model. Why are you saying the person is your role model? Is it because the person is popular, or is it because the person is doing something that really inspires you? You have to make that difference yourself as a brand and say that if I'm popular for just shouting all over the place, then it's not good enough. I need to be relevant. I need to be able to command attention in a good way. I need to be able, and you usually see your relevance depending on how many people want to associate with you, how many brands want to also associate with you, whether you like it or not. And I'm talking serious brands. Then it tells you that you're relevant because you can encourage a number of people to act in a certain way that meets the demands of this particular brand. That's what I'm saying, that you have to know which brand it is, not just any brand. You get it? So I'll use myself as an example. I work with APSA. I work with Lucozade. They might have come on because maybe I was popular, I had the numbers, but for them, it was more about the fact that maybe I was relevant enough to be attached to their brand because they were selling a particular service. And I was able to draw people to that service. And they were getting good results. So I was impacting some goodwill into the lives of these people. And maybe that's what made me relevant. I could have ended up being popular as well. I could have just gone with everyone, the flow, shouting all over the place and stuff. So at a point, I was wondering, is being quiet good or bad? Because I'm very quiet in the industry. I don't talk much. I do things and I do my job and it's okay. But I realized over time that even though the very popular loud ones, and it's not bad to be loud, so please don't misconstrue me. But even though those people had all the numbers and stuff, there really wasn't any respect attached to their image. And if you look at the reason why people tell you, I love this person, sometimes you realize that it doesn't add up. It doesn't hold weight. So you have to make that decision that I want to live in my purpose. And you can only discover your purpose. Sometimes, if you're lucky, it happens along the line. But you need to get closer to God. For me, that's what I believe, that you get closer to God and He helps you. He directs your path. That's how I got the BU project. I didn't just get up and say, I want to do BU. I woke up one morning, I was sitting on my bed, and I just had in my head BU. a project for young women, a project that you can use to inspire women. It just landed on my lap. And that's how I started it. So don't think that you can just get up and say that I'm going to switch it immediately. It takes time, but you also have to make that conscious effort that I want to be regarded. I want to be respected. I don't just want to have numbers. I want to be able to carry along these people in a positive light. That's where the relevance is.
Great. So the next thing, somebody asked, does being seen as a celebrity put you under pressure?
Am I a celebrity? I'm not. I'm just a media personality, guys. I'm not. But does it put me under pressure? Well, sometimes it does. Especially because people box you a lot. You know, they expect to see, once they've seen you in this light, they want you to remain in that light. So if you're not dressed up, they're used to you looking all nice with your hair, your makeup, your nice outfits. And then one day you're not looking, you feel inadequate because you're like, oh my God, people are going to see me and feel like, what's wrong with Berla today? Why is she not looking the usual self? So there's a lot of pressure. The pressure, because of the fact that I have a lot of people who also say you're my role model and stuff. So sometimes when you even want to post a mini outfit and stuff, you're like, okay, what are people going to say? You know, I don't let the pressure get to me. I'm still myself. If I can do it, if I can afford something, I afford it and I go all out and I treat myself. If I can't, I won't keep myself. So I'll stay in my house and do my stuff. But if you see me in town, I'm still the usual person, unless I'm upset with something. Maybe I won't smile at you too much. Forgive me if I've ever done that to you, but I don't let it get to me. I don't. I try to control it because you see, if you allow the pressure to get to you, that's when you start doing all sorts of things just to remain important in the eyes of people. But that's not the ultimate. It's about yourself. It's about you. If at the end of the day, you're showing off all the stuff that you want to show off and you come back home and you're broke, you're unhappy, and it's like you've been living for everyone else by yourself, then that's where the problem is. So you need to be able to draw the line. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a whole list of questions from one person, from Nana Uzam, and you asking. The first question is, what will be the deal breaker for you in the industry?
Oh, when I go to CNN, that's it. That is it.
Okay. Okay. Will you ever consider career change?
No, I can't. It's going to be difficult. I'll add on, but I won't change it entirely. I've always said, and today I was telling some colleagues on set, because I was doing some work for Absa Bank. So they were like, oh, we have a spot for you in the bank. I mean, they were just teasing me because they realized that this girl can't survive anywhere else. And I was like, listen, I would die of boredom if you guys put me in a bank. I won't consider a career change. This is me. This is what I was created for. It's so obvious. I can't change. I can't survive anywhere else.
Right. I mean, back in the day, you had an offer to work in a bank. So
I did. Yeah. Actually, I was the one. It was my friend that was, helping me to move to the bank. And I went for that interview, and the HR said, my dear, after speaking to you, is the industry that you belong to. Go back to the media. I'm not going to hire you because if I hire you, I'm going to do you a good disservice. You won't be happy here. Go back. And I posted about this recently.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is, what are your criteria for choosing a brand to represent?
What do they represent, first of all? How does that tie into my brand? And how does that also affect my journey as a media personality? And for me, those are the key things. Once I know that this brand is relevant, once I know that it is a brand of high repute, I jump on it, especially because it helps me to also be on guard. It's sort of, how do I say it? But I don't know if you get me, but it also keeps me on track because I know that I represent a brand of high repute. And these are multinationals. You cannot misbehave. So it's a give and take affair. I look out for those things so that it can help me in my journey and in my growth as well.
Right. Okay. So what do you do to unwind? What do you dance? Do you play video games?
First of all, I yanked this wig off my head, and I wish I could do it right now. I'm tired. But like the other man said, the gentleman said, I'm a sports enthusiast. So I used to go to the gym a lot. I've become very lazy. Forgive me. I'll go back. But I've realized I like sporty stuff. I like to swim. I'm not that great, but I like to swim. I like to watch a lot of movies. I'm always Netflixing and chilling when I'm not doing much. And sometimes it gets in the way because Sunday evening, I'm supposed to be watching the news. I'm supposed to be reading, and I'm on Netflix. And I can watch it till like 11 p.m., sleep and wake up at 4 a.m. or 3:30 and go to work. And I haven't read anything. It's an addiction I'm working on. But dancing maybe sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Sleeping. I like to sleep for fun. Sleeping is fun, guys. You guys should try it. It's fun.
Sleeping is fun. Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea. It's the best thing in the world. Thank God for sleep. I don't know what I'd have done without sleep. Yeah. But those are the things I do. Yeah.
Okay. Is it money is important, but if any brand, so media, yes, so like in media, probably you do corporate communications and stuff like that, it works. If any brand offers you to be a corporate comms person for them, where you will get to do a bit of the media stuff, would you consider?
I've considered a few times. If I get to that point, I'll make that decision. I can't be in front of the camera forever. A whole Oprah Winfrey took a break from her show. So, I mean, as long as it doesn't take me away completely from the media, and like you said, I still get to do what I love, why not? I could consider it.
Okay, great. Probably maybe me personally, guys, if you have any question, drop in the chat. I will. What would you say is the most challenging task you've taken on from the time? I want you to look.
Hold on. I think Genevieve, you need to mute your sound. You're giving us some feedback, Genevieve. Thank you. All right. Now Esther.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
So from the time you were not this relevant or this popular till now, what would you say is the most challenging task that you've ever taken on?
Most challenging in my field of work?
Yes.
I'll tell you. Well, I was. Why no? Esther, we can hear your conversation with your boyfriend. Anyway, I'll tell you what. So I was booked to interview some CEOs at the Columbia University for the African Economic Forum in 2018. I believe it was 2018. Guess who I was going to be speaking to? The country manager of IBM. IBM is a technological company, very huge, global company. I had to speak to the CEO of the African CEO of Microsoft and Chevron. I was going against two giants in the technological space. I was going to sit in front of students in an Ivy League school, Columbia University, and I consider these students very intelligent. This was me now trying to find my feet, in current affairs and social issues and stuff. And I was called and I was told that you have to come and host these people. And I was like, what are we going to talk about? And they said technology and how it affects it's affecting the African youth. I mean, in 2018, and the future of technology in Africa. I died and resurrected like 10 times because I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I had to do a lot of reading, and I was lucky because just at that point, the country manager for IBM at that time was Ghanaian. And I had been invited to speak to some secondary school students in Accra. So here I was attending this event to speak to these girls. And then I met her there. And I was like, wait, this is the woman I'm supposed to be interviewing very soon. This is like God telling me, sweetheart, I've landed it on your lap. Get in touch with her and see if she can help you. And so I went to her and I told her, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to interview you, but I have no freaking idea where to even start from. And I was so nervous. And she was like, no, don't worry, I'm going to help you. So what's your background? And that's how we struck an acquaintance. She's literally like my sister now. But I think that was the most difficult because even then, when I got there, everybody was looking at me like, this girl is dressed up. Does she have anything in her coconut? But you know how we still perceive some girls like that. And I started asking my questions. Everybody was like, oh my God. And this is feedback that I got, by the way. It's not me being arrogant, but everybody just kept saying, oh my God, we didn't expect that you could ask those kind of questions. You know so much about technology. Wow. Meanwhile, I had read, I had gotten some small apport from this, country manager. So for me, that's been the most challenging. The fact that I had to speak to people who are like solid in their field. These are like global people. And I had to go and I was looking at myself like, you don't deserve to be here, madam. What are you doing here in the first place? It was tough, but I managed. Thanks to God, I managed. It went well.
Great stuff. Wow, that is a very inspiring one to know. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, I can imagine you talking technology. You have to find yourself in that mix.
Yes, it's not fun. It's not fun, but you have to still read about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so probably my last question I would ask. If anybody else has a question, put it in the chat and let me ask it for you. But my last question to you is, as young people who are looking to build a career for ourselves, we are looking to build a life. What is the one advice that you would give to us as young people?
Stop putting pressure on yourself. Stop allowing the world's pressure to get to you. Everybody's posting something that looks really good online. But the majority of those people are frustrated, they're depressed, they're living a lie. So if you're going to judge your progress based on someone else's supposed progress on social media, you're going to fail. And you fail miserably. Because you're always going to see that person as your yardstick. And you're going to want to do everything to get to that point. Meanwhile, you don't know what that person did to get there. And probably that person is not even there. It's just a facade. You are on the right path. Focus. Dedicate your time to what it is that you're doing. It might take 10 years. It might take 2 years. It might even take 20 years. But as long as you feel in your spirit that you're on that path, the right path, you'll definitely get there. So if someone is driving a Benz now, and that person is your age, and you feel as if you're 23, you should also be driving a Benz because you've seen your friend drive a Benz, then I'm sorry, you don't know what you're about. Because maybe in the next 10 years, you even be driving a car that's much bigger than this person, but you weren't patient. So you decided to just mess up. So please, I know social media is killing us. Sometimes I feel the pressure too. I also have people that I speak to, and sometimes I go and tell them that I feel like this industry is too much. I cannot do it anymore. And then they look at me and say, you've achieved so much than all these other people that you think are flaunting. So don't ever think low of yourself because you're on the right path. And all these people that you feel pressured by even wish that they have a quarter or they had a quarter of what you have in terms of your career. So don't lose hope. And it's the same thing I want to tell you all. It's difficult. It's so easy to get swayed by societal pressure, but don't let people force you to do things that you're not destined to do. Again, it's about your purpose in life. If you find that purpose, no matter what, even if you fall sometimes, you still get back up and say, this is where I'm going and I'm going to stay on this path and I will achieve it. So please, in God's name, don't look at Berla Mundi now and think that you have not even started a career and you're in level 200, you have to be on the same level as Berla Mundi. Berla Mundi started very broke. She started as a nobody. She dedicated her time. She dedicated many years. If today she's wearing nice clothes, I can tell you for a fact that 90% of the clothes are borrowed. It's designers who bring us the clothes and say, wait, take pictures and put it out for me because I'll get business. So if you're seeing me wearing a different outfit every day, and you think that's it. I'm at the University of Ghana and I have to dress up like Berla. I have to look like this personality or that personality. You will die broke because you will not get, I'm sorry, I'm not cursing you, but it's just the same. You will not get someone to bring you free outfits or free stuff. So you end up spending so much money, and the little money that you have, you use all to go and buy Brazilian weave, a new dress every day, new shoes, a fake Gucci bag, because you also want people to see that you're holding a Gucci bag. Meanwhile, it is fake.
Okay.
So please don't allow the pressure to get you. Take your time. You'll get there. Okay? You'll get there. Well, my first car was a Kia Rio. I saved, like I literally saved. It was a tiny car, but I was proud of myself. And I just kept moving from one level to the other. I didn't rush it. Sometimes, and I'll say it again, that I had people who kept me on track, by the way. The pressure got to me sometimes, but I had these people who bring me back and tell me that, Madam, take your time, you'll get there. And then I bought a certain car that I was even shocked that I could afford that car, but I bought it and I was so proud of myself. But it took me years to get there. When I wanted it, that time, how much was I? Probably like 900 Mercedes, but I'll tell you this funny story. I walked into a showroom because I said I wanted a BM, brand new Teraba. Ask me where I was. I had now started doing voiceovers at GH1. So I walked into the showroom and I said, oh, hi, I'm come to check for the prices of this BM because I want one. They said, oh, have a seat, madam. They brought me the brochure. When I saw the prices, I said, oh, thank you. And she was like, oh, are you parked outside? And I said, oh, don't worry, I'm fine. You know what? I walked to the place. I didn't have a car. So I was so embarrassed when I was walking out. And I was like, madam, why are you giving yourself this kind of pressure? Easy. You'll be able to afford this kind of car and any other car years later. So it was a reminder that I was rushing and I needed to take my time. And I did. And I'm here. So please, don't let it get to you. It's not worth it. Live your life. Be patient. It will happen. You'll even be ahead of the same people that you're looking at now. Some years to come, you will be ahead of them. And I know what I'm saying because I'm seeing it manifest right in front of me. People that I thought were on top. I'm here and I'm looking at them, and these are the same people who are now telling me that I wish I was like you. And I'm like, hey, you wish you were like me? Wow, hey, okay. This must feel good. So please relax, guys. Please. That's it.
Great stuff. B, thank you so much for your time, guys, and thank you to everybody who joins this session. We appreciate you, B. Thank you. Now you can go and get some rest. But
hello.
So guys, on Tuesday we have another session, but this is mostly for the tech guys. It's going to be a session on blockchain. So if you are interested in blockchain, I have somebody from the Blockchain Academy talking to us, advisors. So I'll put a poster out somewhere tomorrow and you can get to see it. So if you're interested in blockchain, join us again the same time, 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and let's have another mentoring session. All right.
Oh,
you're asking for item 13. Item 13.
Please.
Item 13 is at the Lucozade store. You can go there and get one for themselves.
Is it? I didn't even know that. Thank you guys so much.
Please,
Thank you.
I need your contact. So that Mundi, please, I need your contact.
I wish I could give my contact.
Okay, you know what, Harry, you know how you can get to Berla? You don't need her contact. You can hit her up on social media. Hit her up on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or whatever.
Or even email. Send me an email. So when you go on my Instagram page, there's an email button, right? So just click on that and send me an email. I respond to that faster than Instagram because Instagram I get a lot of messages. So sometimes I'm not able to keep up. So just send me an email, please.
Email.
Okay, guys, if you want my number, just go hit me up on LinkedIn. Or you know what, let me just share my LinkedIn link with you guys. Message me on LinkedIn. I will respond. I'm very responsive over there. WhatsApp, I get overwhelmed a little bit sometimes, so I'm unable to. But my name is Kwame Osansa on LinkedIn, so you can just check me out on LinkedIn. I'm doing this for folks, so I'm trying to share my LinkedIn profile. Just search for me on LinkedIn, Kwame Osansa, and then you can get me. Harry, so like I said,
yeah, like this, I want to tell you, like, but I mean, I've sent a message 3 times over 3 months ago, and I've sent a message on Facebook and Instagram several times, but she has not read it.
Harry, you can
go to message on my mail.
You can get that through me, okay?
Yeah.
Or B, just
I've sent you your email address, like from your site.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I've sent.
Yeah.
From your site that you made,
from my website.
But you couldn't respond for over 3 months.
I'm so sorry.
If not,
send me another one. I'm so sorry about that. Send me another one.
And also recently I came last month. I came to the TV3 station, which is around the Ringwood. I came there. I wanted to come and meet you on the show. Like after you post,
so because of security reasons, the security won't allow you if you don't have an appointment. Do you get it?
Okay.
I'm sure that's why they stop you. It's not deliberate, but they also have to do their job. So you send me the email, please.
Like to me, if I check phone number is far better.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
So that we can chat on WhatsApp.
Good night, guys.
Like
sorry, Harry, that can't happen.
Chatting on WhatsApp. Chatting on WhatsApp is far better.
All right, Harry. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
See you guys again on Tuesday.
I like the way you communicate on TV and everywhere, and your style, and also doing the